If you are a real estate agent balling on a budget, but you have yet to invest into a robust CRM system, but you want to implement some kind of automation into your online lead generation, then my friend, this video is for you because I'm going to show you how to create a free automation between Google Forms and Gmail using Zapier, which will allow you to send an automated email when someone fills out your Google form. Okay, this is great for delivering your buyer or seller guide and even delivering your newsletter. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Hi friends, it's Laressa, aka La to the R-E-S-S-A. Welcome back or welcome to the channel. If you are new here, this is a place on the internet where I help fellow real estate brothers and sisters keep it real estate, but more importantly, I show you how to create effective content in your business. And if you are a real estate agent looking to leverage and scale your business with YouTube and modern social media strategies, then I might be your girl. So scan this code here to find out. Now, this video, we are talking about automation. Now, if you are familiar with my tutorials and my content, you may seen all of my Canva website related videos. So this is a playlist of all the landing page ideas, and specifically from these videos here of the buyer and seller landing page, I have gotten lots of questions as to how can you implement some kind of automation and what is my personal kind of take on conversion and online lead generation. Now, to be fully and completely honest here, because I am an agent with eXp Realty, I have free access to KB Core, which is a very robust CRM system. It's your front-facing MLS IDX website. It's also your back-end lead generation, lead capture system, which will allow you to run certain campaigns, drip campaigns to follow up on your leads. And of course, it's your CRM, it's your database where you house everything. But listen, I realize that not every agent is at eXp yet. And I realize that, investing into a CRM like this can be very expensive. So if you want to try out the automation thing, this might be for you. Again, we are diving into using Zapier, which I'm going to show you right now, which is basically a platform that creates campaign triggers between different applications. So in this case, when I was practicing this, I had to learn how to do this. I ran a test between let's see here, if I open this up, Google Forms and Gmail. Now, Zapier has a bunch of, you can't see that, a bunch of different applications that you can try out. And right now, I am just using the free version. And right now I have a professional trial. But typically on the free version, you have upwards of typically 100 tasks per month. And then you can create 5 free zaps is what they call it. Now, to begin here, we will need to have some kind of landing page or funnel already made. Now, again, if you watched my previous tutorials and videos on how to make a Canva website or landing page for real estate, this is what the buyer one looks like right now. Now, in this one, I have my buyer guide embedded onto the actual page, and then the call to action on this particular landing page was to book a call using that button there, if it will load real quick for me. But essentially that call to action button was to go to Calendly, which looks like this, but obviously this is not for a real estate call, it's my Wolfpack discovery call. But essentially it would take people to this page here, and then they could pick a time and date, answer all my preliminary questions so I can, kind of vet people out. And that's what that call to action button was. So I had a video embedded here on the front page, and again, here is that embedded Canva design, which is my buyer's guide. Now, the second tutorial I had was my buyer's funnel. Now, in this case, for this particular funnel, I had, again, the same, well, not the same videos, but I had YouTube videos embedded. I had my listing presentation embedded on the third page here. And then the call to action at the bottom was, if you're not interested in working together just yet, why not join my real estate newsletter? And this here is a Google form that you can embed onto the page. And if I go to preview, hopefully it will load. It might take a few minutes here, but essentially people will be able to input their information directly into that Google form, and then I would have their information. Now, this is where we need to add in some kind of automation, right? Because if you're a new agent or balling on a budget, you may have the time to handle all of the incoming leads manually, but if you start to get lots of leads through your online lead generation endeavors, you're going to need some kind of automation, right? And so this is where this automation between, again, that Google Sheets and Gmail here combine and go together. So this has been, I believe, a highly requested take on what my conversion is, and I wanted to bring this video to you guys because I know that not like I said, not everybody has a very robust CRM system that enables them to create landing pages with automation already built into the platform. Now, to start here, you will need to create a free Zapier account. It's very easy, very simple, very basic. Let me pull up the page for you. So I have just opened Zapier on a incognito window on Chrome, and as I mentioned, you can create a free account. I just did mine with Google because that's just easy to do. And if you decide that you like this program, you of course can upgrade from the freemium version, if you know what I mean. So again, to start, you will need to have your landing page built out on Canva if you like. And at this point, we need to create the automation. And to do that, you first, of course, want to have your Google form already made. But if you're not familiar with what that looks like, I'm going to show you right now how easy it is. So of course you want to have Google Drive. So I've created another folder on my Google Drive to put all of this information together so it's in one nice place, because we need to create the Google form, and from the Google form we have to create a Google Sheet, which I'm going to show you. So this is what the base looks like for a Google form. Very easy, very standard, but I'm going to show you how you can actually customize it so it fits your branding. So really quick here, I'm just going to copy over some text here that I have on my other screen here, because if you know, I have a double monitor setup, which is a lifesaver. So I'm going to paste this here. In this case, we are going to be doing, as you see here, the real estate buyer guide automation. And now for the questions, I just want to prep you with this. The more questions that you ask, the less likely that people are going to actually go through this and fill it out. So you're either going to have quantity or quality. Now for me personally, I'd rather take the quality lead because I know that they're high quality and they're going to convert better to get them under contract and, have them as a client. So typically speaking, what you want for the fields here is first name. I put this as required. Add a new question here. You can do last name. You can skip last name if you want. First name should be pretty proficient, but like I said, I want the quality leads. And if you're serious about working with me, I need to know your full name. And then the next thing we have here is preferred email. Again, have that on as required. Keep it as short answer. And again, the final one I usually like to put in is preferred cell. Now you can put in brackets here, optional, like that. And then I'm just going to highlight this as italicize it. And then I'm just going to keep this off. So the only required questions here is the name and the email. Now really quick here, if you want to create some kind of a banner, you very well can. We can go up to this customized theme here, and it's going to pull up a panel here on the side of what you can do to stylize your form. So really quick here, I'm just going to name this so I know which one it is. And then if you want to create your banner, you got to go into, Canva. So I have mine already made here. For this particular design, it is a 1600 pixel by 400 pixel design. And then if you choose this design, if you are on the design tab here, you can see different options or different layouts of what you can create. Here are mine. I have 3 different forms. So in this case, obviously, yes, you want to put your city name, but this is just a practice example. So at this point, you just want to download this as a PNG. I'm just going to select the first page here, not a video. We want PNG, thank you. Download this to your desktop. And then before I leave this page, I actually want to pull the hex code of this green color. So I'm just going to go into here, copy that hex color, because we can change the color on a form. So let's do the color first. If we go down here to add custom color, click that, scroll down, you see me right here. I'm going to paste in that color, hit add. And then you can choose it's not going to be a perfect color because it has to be this kind of transparent green. I don't know why, but you can choose the intensity of that green color. But again, that green line there is going to be that exact color. Now let's go in and add in our header. It's going to be right above here. Choose image, and we are going to go into uploads. I have to make sure this is downloaded to my folder here, which it is, and I'm just going to drag it from my downloads folder into here. Just click done, and then you are pretty much set to go with, give it a second. I don't know why it does that. I want to go back to my colors and then go in and just pick that green. Yeah, we'll leave like that. So put your header in first and then change your colors. My mistake. So if you want to see what this looks like, we could just go to the preview. And this is what the form should look like when someone is about to fill it out. Now, really quick before we finish out with this, what I typically like to do is go into, I believe, responses and go to these 3 dots. You can get email notifications for new responses. You can turn that on if you want, so you know you will get an email saying that somebody has filled out your form. Totally up to you. But we want to go into settings actually. Go down to presentation, and if you go down here, you can edit your confirmation message. You can choose, thank you for your submission. You will receive an email from me very shortly. So let's see what I have on my other tab here. And I'm just going to copy this over for the sake of time. And here I have, thank you for entering in your contact. You should receive a real estate guide in your email shortly, just to let them know that is coming because we are about to create that automation, okay? So hit save. And then I think that's pretty much all that we need. Now we have to actually create a spreadsheet, but to do that, we need to actually fill this out. So let's go into our preview again, and you just want to have a submission in here so that this is operating properly. So let's do that and just hit submit. Right, so and then you see here your message is there. Perfect. Now if you go back into your Google form page, you'll see that you have 1 response, which is great. You can see the response summary here, but now we need to link 2 sheets. That's very important. And typically I just create a new spreadsheet, and then it's going to name it this if you want, create. All right, so here is the spreadsheet. Now you do want to make sure that you save it where you want it so you know where to find it. Now typically it should just save to the folder that I made in the beginning. So if I reload my folder, there it is. That's where everything is. That's why you want to make sure that you create a specific folder for this specific automation, and we'll get into the buyer guide in a second. So let's just click out of here. Click out of here. We are done with this. Now go to Zapier. And essentially, this is just the back end of it. I'm currently in the Zaps tab, so we can click here to create a Zap or click here to create a Zap. Doesn't matter. New Zap. And again, I believe the free version is only 5 Zaps that are just, 2 applications connected together. Go ahead and name this. I'm going to name it Zap 2. And then what we want to do is create the first trigger. So if we click on this, click on it, we need to look for Google Forms. So you might need to search for it because it might not be on the first page. Click on that. And then we need to choose the event. In this case, what I wanted to do is new form response. Trigger when a new form response is received. So when somebody fills out that Google form on your landing page, your Canva website, that's when a new response is made. And so what happens is when that is submitted, we want to create a trigger between the Google form here. So it's going to ask us to sign in. Let's see what happens. It's going to make sure you sign in. Okay. Give it permission. And then it's going to say, okay, we're going to continue here. And then we have to create from. So we have to choose the value. And that means we have to choose the spreadsheet that we just created. That's why make sure you name it properly so you know which one it is, okay? And of course, don't worry, at the end of this, you can test this trigger before it even goes live. Okay, continue. Now we need to go to the second action, which is connecting it to the Gmail. So I'm just going to go to Gmail here. You see that there? Just click that there. And then we want to choose the event, which in this case, we want to send email. Create and send new email message. Click on that. Continue. It's going to ask you to log in, or because we already have logged in with the first step, we should be good. Now, this is where we have to fill out all of our automation. So we are going to start with to here, enter text. So what does it say? New form response in Google Form. First, you need to complete this step. Configure the steps to give you access. Okay, go complete this step. Test trigger. Oh, did we do this right? Give me a moment. Hi, this is Editing Laressa. I realized in this portion of the video, I was in live time confused as well. Essentially what Zapier is doing at this point when it's asking you to test the trigger, it's basically making sure that it's pulling the right information that you want from the right Google form. Okay, so when we go over to the next frame here, you see how it's pulling this form response. So this is it pulling the information from that Google form. So don't worry, you are in the right place as you need to be. That's all I wanted to say as Editing Laressa. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with your real estate brothers and sisters. All right, continue on with the tutorial. Go to here, click here. So this is already done. It has that check mark. Then go to here. Then we have to put in our choose our values. So as mentioned, if we go into our Google Sheet here, we can see the values of each column, which in this case, remember, our first name, last name, preferred email, and cell. Now, essentially what we have to do is connect those fields to tell Zapier where to pull information from on this Google Sheet. So in this case, we are again on the email here. Make sure we are on this step here. We are in action. And then this is sending it to, in this case, we want to pull the email, respondent email. Nope, I have to find mine because we named it preferred email. Okay, we have to delete this thing. How do we, hold on, just put your cursor there and delete like that. Okay, so again, to preferred email. Now we want to put in, let's see here. No, we just want that, just the email there. Forget about CC, BCC, don't need that. Choose from, in this case, I'm gonna send it to my eXp Realty email. Give it a moment to load. Did it go? Oh, yes it did. It's up here. And then from that, this is where you put your name. You can just actually just type the way you want your name to look when it comes through. And then this is where we put into, let's see, reply to. Nope, we don't need that form. We don't need that. Subject line. Now, this is where we are actually creating the text of the email. So for this heading, you can actually put in emojis if you would like as well. So in this case, I'm just going to copy over this text here, and we're going to put in the subject line. I'm just going to say, congrats, your home buying journey begins here. And then we're going to go into here, which is the body type. We're going to keep it as plain text. And then the body is where we are actually going to be putting in our information. So in this case, what we have to do first, what I like to do is do a hi. And then if you see here, it pulls down insert data. So this is where we want to actually, put their name. So first name here. So it's like, hi, their name. So it seems like it's personal. It's addressed to them, right? And then if I just hit enter, we can start to build out the body of our email. So in this case, I'm just going to copy over some of this text here. Now I'm going to show you two ways as to how you can link your buyer guide. Now, in this case, we can do a shared Google sharing form. So as you see here, I have uploaded my my buyer's guide into my drive here. And so of course, as you know, I made this with, Canva websites. No, I didn't. Just Canva, not the websites. This is just a plain PDF. This is an 8.5 by 11 inch document. You can use an A4 document, and then you just go ahead and design this as you'd like. And yes, this is available for purchase on my Etsy shop, so be sure to check it out. I will put the code here to scan. You can find it, or I will link this specific template in the description box down below. And again, all you have to do is just download this as a PDF standard, which is fine, and then just upload that into your Google Drive. And so in this case, if you want to share this specific PDF, you have to go up to these 3 dots up here, click share, and then we have to actually turn the access on to public. So click down there, anyone with the link. So this is a public access, but only, it's public because you are actually setting them this link. So if you don't put that on, essentially what's going to happen is if you share the link, somebody's going to click it, and if they don't have access, it's going to email you that, hey, this person needs access, can you give access? It's kind of a headache. So I just put anyone with the link. So I'm just going to copy this link here, and you can just go back into your Zapier form, hit enter, and just paste it down like that. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we can hyperlink a text. So if I said, click here for your buyer guide and hyperlinked here with that, doesn't seem like we can do that, at least from my understanding right now. So that's one way of sharing your PDF. Now, another way is you can actually share it directly from Canva. So if you go back into your Canva design here, if you go to the share tab, we can go to the more button down here and go to view only link. Now, this is, again, if we copy this and open this into a new tab here, this is what it would look like. So it's basically just giving them this link that they can just view this as they please. They can't download it, but they can view it. Now, the benefit of having this method is that if you ever make changes to your buyer guide in the back end design, the changes will be reflected when anybody looks at this link. So if they refresh it, if you change something on the front page, it would be reflected. All the changes would be reflected on the link here. Now, in the case of having just a straight PDF inside a Google Drive, if you change something, you obviously have to upload your PDF and then delete this one, and then the links would be broken, right? So up to you. You can take this link here from Canva. Now, if you do take the link from Canva, what I do recommend you to do is use some kind of shortening link, such as bit.ly, just so it's not so ugly, because it's so long. It's so long. So if I go into bit.ly here, to create new, go link, you can just paste this here. You can name this buyer guide test. I'm going to name this test automation so I know what it is. And then you can actually customize the back half. So you can just name it buyer guide, so you know what it looks like. And if you go to create, this is what, I already have that. Buyer guide test. Great. And then all you have to do is copy this link. We can just go copy that, go back into your Zapier, and we can just paste it here. So it's just this nice, pretty little link rather than it being something long and, conducive like that. So 2 options, either share with Google Drive or share directly to Canva, completely up to you. Now, one thing that you can also insert into here is another call to action just to keep things going. Now, what I typically would like to do is to send people my Calendly link. So in this case, I'm just going to copy this over from my other page here. And then down here it says, if you have any questions on what's next steps to take, you can book a free Zoom call with me here so that they know what to do. I'm not going to use that one. I don't have a real estate one right now, but I'm going to use Wolf Tech Discovery. Nope. It won't pull my hotkey. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to go back into here. Copy this link and go back into Zapier. Okay, paste that there. And then this is for the buyer's guide. But let's say if you didn't want to do the buyer's guide and you wanted to do the actual newsletter that I showed you how to make, or showed you in this video where it says newsletter, I actually have another tutorial on my channel of how to make a digital newsletter with Canva. So if I pull up this design real quick, give me a second. Again, if I pull up the newsletter, this is what it looks like when it's completely done. This is specifically a Canva website again, and then this is what it looks like. And then all you have to do is just take this link here and just copy it into your Zapier here. So I know that this is a lot. Obviously, you don't want to have all these links because again, it's just going to be overwhelming to that prospect client. So ideally, just share your buyer's guide or your newsletter separately, and then have some kind of call to action so they can book a call with you. But again, I just wanted to show you really quickly how you can add different links in here. So finally, what you want to do is have some kind of sign off, thank you, and then your name. Now, because this is Gmail, it actually does pull your signature here, but it's not ideal, because typically I'm going to put up a screenshot or a screen recording here of if you do decide to pull your Gmail signature from Gmail, it will show on Gmail users. But let's say if you're sending this Gmail to an Outlook, mail account, it's not going to pull your Gmail signature. So I just like to have a regular sign off as I do right here, just so that they know how to reach out to you. And of course you can put your name and your number and things like that as well. So I just like to make sure I put some spaces in here, because if you don't, it's gonna look really crampy. I don't know if that's a word, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, we'll keep the newsletter in there so you can see what happens when people click the link. So now that we have that all built out, you don't really have to worry about this. And these attachment things, I try to play around with it. I really couldn't figure out how to do it. It says that you can add a public URL, but for some reason it just didn't work for me. So I just put the URL in the body of the email here. So all we have to do is hit continue, and then it's going to show you basically what it looks like here. And then it's showing you all the empty fields. And then let's just test step here. And so basically what's going to do, it's going to send you an email to your Gmail. And I'm going to go to my Gmail to see if it's sent to me. It might take a second. Give me a second. All right, so I have the email open on another tab. I'm just gonna bring it over here. I have a lot of tabs open. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. It's going to say, congrats. That was where we had our subject line. Again, remember how we chose that field. Hi, their name. It's going to pull that information from the Google Sheet. And as mentioned, if you put the Google Drive shared link here, if they have a Gmail account, it's going to show them at the bottom. It's going to be attached like that. And then they can just go ahead and go through this. They can download this to their computer if they would like. Now again, if you decide to go with the sharing through Canva route, you can create that short bit.ly link, and then they can click this and it's going to take them directly to this page here. And they can click through this as if it was a kind of presentation, just like that. But it will allow them to download this. Again, if you make changes to the back end of the design, the changes will be reflected on this link here. Now again, as mentioned, you can put in a call to action just so you have some kind of continuous flow in conversion, so you're not just giving them the guide and then they're piecing out. Like, no, here's the guide and book a call with me. So again, I highly recommend Calendly for this, so that way you can have some preliminary questions to further vet that prospect client to get to know them better and, make sure you're not wasting your time. And then, like I said, if you decide to use this Zapier method, this Zap trigger, you can also create a Zapier for your newsletter. So again, you would have to create a different form and then make sure you have all of the fields properly aligned as I showed you in the beginning when we create the Zap, and then you can link your newsletter. Now, that is pretty much the emphasis of how to create a Zap. It's not as complicated as many might think, but all you really have to do is, again, if I would just go over a summary real quick here. You have to create your form, Google form first, create a response so that you can generate a sheet. And then once that's done, go into Zapier. And again, if you just go into the main page here, just click create, and then you can choose the Google Sheets to Google Gmail, and then you can go in and create the Zap. So again, if I just go through this one more time, you do want to make sure once you tested it, you turn on the Zap. So I'm going to go back into View Editor one more time so I can show you, because I know it was kind of confusing, but all you really are doing is just linking these two applications together. Again, the Google form, and then we want the event to be a new form, continue. You have your account already signed in. The trigger is, again, make sure you choose the proper named spreadsheet so it knows it's pulling information from the right one. And then if you go into your Gmail, which is the second application linked to the first one, again, the event is to send an email. The account is already logged in. The action is to send out this email. So you want to choose, again, the preferred email. So that is the field that we are selecting from the Google Sheet. And then don't worry about CC, BCC. Then you want to choose from email. So if your Gmail is associated with different aliases, you can also send from there. So I'm just gonna keep that there. And then don't worry about reply to, subject line. You can put an emoji, I do. It just makes it more fun. And then keep the body type as plain. And then again, we choose the hi, and then choose the field. So if you just click on anywhere on this page, it's going to pull the insert data down here. And again, we're pulling hi, their first name, so it seems a lot more personable to them, even though it is an automation. And go ahead and put in your preferred method of how you want to share your guide. And then again, have another call to action in there, highly recommend Calendly, and in a sign off where you can add in, very basic, very simple, your name and then your contact. And then, like I said, I wouldn't choose signature and just leave all of this blank here, and then hit continue and then test. And then once you have tested it and you like how it looks, just go ahead and just hit the publish button, and then it's going to take a moment for you to turn this on. And by all means, I would test it again with another email, another submission, to see how fast it actually sends you an email. So my friends, that is it for today's video. And if you made it to the end, you know what it is, you know what to do. Yeah, comment down below, #AndCrew, because if you do, I know you will, but you are a real one. And I hope you enjoyed this video. This was something that I learned only a couple days ago, because I wanted to give you guys some kind of automation that you can implement into the tutorials that I create. So I hope you try this out. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. But apparently this is what the YouTube algorithm wants you to check out next. So if you're ready, get ready to click in 3, 2, 1.